VoyageVault presents an exciting new video all about Glacier National Park. Nestled in the Rocky Mountains of Montana, Glacier National Park is a true natural wonder of the world. Known for its rugged mountain peaks, pristine lakes, and expansive glaciers, this park offers some of the most stunning scenery in the United States. In this video, we'll explore the diverse landscapes, incredible wildlife sightings, and rich human history that make Glacier National Park so captivating. You'll see breathtaking sights like going to the Sun Road and learn about the park's efforts to preserve its environment and cultural heritage. We'll also cover some of the best activities in the park, from hiking to camping to wildlife viewing. Get ready to be amazed by the beauty and majesty of Glacier National Park. This is one destination you won't want to miss. So come along with us on this virtual voyage through one of America's most iconic national parks. Natural wonders and geology. Glacier National Park is a true wonderland of natural beauty and geological marvels. Sculpted from the forces of glaciers, water, and tectonic shifts over millions of years, the terrain of Glacier National Park is nothing short of breathtaking. The park is located in the Rocky Mountains and is bisected by the Continental Divide. This means the landscape features dramatic peaks, U-shaped valleys carved by ancient glaciers, and towering cliff walls. Some of the most iconic mountains in Glacier National Park include Mount Cleveland, the tallest peak at 10,478 feet, as well as Mount Jackson, Mount Ca, and Going to the Sun Mountain. These craggy, imposing mountains frame lush green valleys dotted with glistening lakes and threaded with cascading waterfalls. But the true stars of the show in Glacier National Park are the glaciers themselves. Over 25 glaciers remain in the park, and they were the driving force behind the incredible topography we see today. Glaciers like Grinnell Glacier and Sperry Glacier slowly grind down the mountainsides, carving away rock and leaving behind signature U-shaped valleys as they recede. These living glaciers are still visible and accessible to travelers today. One of the most memorable ways to experience the awe-inspiring landscapes of Glacier National Park is along Going to the Sun Road. This 50-mile road winds its way over Logan Pass at an elevation of 6,646 feet. It was an ambitious engineering project completed in 1933 that provided breathtaking views of Glacier's mountains, waterfalls, and sweeping vistas. Drive along this road and you'll traverse winding switchbacks, cross historic bridges, and tunnel through solid rock on your way to scenic overlooks. Going to the Sun Road is an attraction in itself and gives visitors front-row views of Glacier's natural wonders. However, the glaciers that give this park its name are rapidly retreating due to climate change. Since 1966, 39 glaciers have completely disappeared. Scientists estimate that if warming trends continue, all of the glaciers in Glacier National Park could be gone by 2030. It's a startling visual to compare photos of glaciers like Grinnell Glacier over time. The recession occurring in recent decades is dramatic. Preserving these glaciers and the park's landscapes is an important conservation priority. Diverse ecosystems and wildlife. In addition to its incredible mountain landscapes, Glacier National Park is home to a diversity of pristine ecosystems that support an abundance of wildlife. From lush forests to flowering prairies to alpine tundra, this park contains a wide range of habitats. On the lower elevations of the park, you'll find wide open valleys blanketed in wildflowers and tall grasses. These prairies and meadows sustain animals like bighorn sheep, badgers, and hawks. Forests of fir, spruce, cedar, and larch trees provide shelter for species like mountain goats, wolverines, grizzly bears, and black bears. And above the tree line, hardy plants and animals are adapted to the harsh, windy conditions of the alpine tundra environment. Some of the most beloved animals in Glacier National Park include its namesake, the grizzly bear. These majestic and powerful creatures roam the backcountry in search of food like roots, berries, and fish. We may spot one foraging on a mountain slope or ambling along a trail. Though potentially dangerous, they are an iconic and integral part of the park's wilderness. Other famous residents include the bighorn sheep, which we may see grazing on cliff sides or in herds in the lower valleys. Wolves, reintroduced in the 1980s, now have thriving packs that help control prey populations. And the mountain goat deftly traverses rugged terrain where it feeds on grasses, shrubs and lichens. These are just a few of the diverse mammal species in the park. Bird life is also abundant, with over 260 species identified in Glacier. Watch for birds like the osprey, which plunges into lakes to catch fish. Listen for the cry of the white-tailed ptarmigan, perfectly camouflaged in its alpine environment. And keep an eye out for golden eagles, grey jays, harlequin ducks and more. Reptiles and amphibians also thrive in Glacier's wetlands and forests. Spot colorful western painted turtles sunning themselves on rocks or logs. The boreal toad and Columbia spotted frog croak in the marshy areas. And garter snakes slither through meadow grasses. Preserving the delicate balance of these ecosystems is crucial. As stunning as Glacier's scenery is, it's the diverse wildlife that makes a visit come alive. But increased human activity also puts pressure on the park's resources and inhabitants. That's why following park regulations like proper food storage, staying on marked trails, and keeping a safe distance from wildlife is key. As visitors, we play an important role in conserving Glacier's ecological health for future generations. From tiny wildflowers to mighty grizzlies, the diversity of life in Glacier National Park makes it a very special place. We have a responsibility to appreciate and protect this vibrant wilderness ecosystem. Seeing animals like mountain goats, wolves, and eagles thriving in their natural habitat is a privilege and reminder of nature's resilience. Respecting the park helps ensure we can continue exploring Glacier's landscapes alongside its wild residents for years to come. Cultural history and the Native American heritage. Glacier National Park has been home to Native American tribes for over 10,000 years. Several tribes, including the Blackfeet, Salish, Kootenai, and Shoshone, consider this sacred landscape their ancestral territory. Understanding and respecting their deep cultural connection to Glacier is an important part of visiting the park today. For thousands of years, Native Americans hunted, fished, gathered resources, and traversed what is now Glacier National Park. Tribes followed seasonal migration routes to take advantage of the abundant natural resources and trade with neighboring groups. Spiritual ceremonies and rituals were tied to the landscape, including sites like Chief Mountain and the summit of Going to the Sun Mountain. When European settlers and fur traders arrived in the 1800s, conflict arose over the land. The 1851 Treaty of Fort Laramie established territories for Native Americans, but the U.S. government later took back significant portions of this land, including Glacier. In 1895, the last of the Blackfeet land was sold to the U.S. and the Great Northern Railway built tracks along the southern boundary of what would become the national park. Despite losing claim to Glacier, it remains part of the ancestral home and cultural identity for tribes like the Blackfeet. Many historic and spiritual areas exist within the park borders, like the Two Medicine Valley, Many Glacier, and Running Eagle Falls. These places hold great meaning. Even today, tribal members visit Glacier to conduct ceremonies, gather traditional plants, and steward ancestral sites. The park aims to incorporate native voices and share the long human history of Glacier with visitors. Interpretive exhibits showcase artifacts and stories from tribes who have called this area home for millennia. The park also partners with tribal historic preservation offices to identify and protect key cultural resources. And native perspectives and values now help shape park management decisions. Some key ways Glacier honors its indigenous roots include offering guided hikes and talks led by Native American interpreters, featuring place names from tribal languages on signs and maps, collaborating with tribal leaders on issues like managing sacred sites, incorporating Native American history into publications and exhibits, training park staff on cultural sensitivity toward tribes. As we explore amazing areas like Many Glacier, Recognizable to tribes as part of their ancestral home, it reminds us that this landscape has a rich human history long predating park designation. The cultures of people like the Blackfeet will forever be interwoven with the natural fabric of Glacier. Learning about and acknowledging this past and present indigenous connection is an enriching part of understanding what makes Glacier National Park special. It ultimately belongs to no one group, but rather is an awe-inspiring region tied to all who have called this iconic mountain landscape home. Recreational activities. From heart-pumping hikes to serene boat rides, Glacier National Park offers endless opportunities for adventure and exploration. Visitors flock here not just to admire the scenery, but to actively engage with this incredible landscape. The park is a recreational wonderland. One of the best ways to experience Glacier is to lace up your hiking boots and hit the trails. With over 700 miles of trails, there are routes suitable for all skill levels. For an easier hike with spectacular views, head to the Trail of the Cedars, a mostly flat, wheelchair-accessible boardwalk loop of just over a mile through ancient cedars and to a gorgeous waterfall. The more ambitious can tackle the steep hike to Grinnell Glacier, a challenging but rewarding 10-mile trek. For the best of both worlds, try the Highline Trail, a moderate 7.6-mile route along the famous Going to the Sun Road that combines stunning vistas and manageable inclines. Boating and paddling on Glacier's pristine lakes is another fantastic way to spend a day. Rent a kayak or canoe and paddle placid Lake McDonald, the largest lake in the park spanned by the stunning Going to the Sun Road. For a multi-day excursion, book a backcountry camping trip to traverse Waterton Lake. Or enjoy a leisurely scenic cruise on one of Glacier's historic wooden tour boats, perfect for wildlife viewing. Anglers rejoice, Glacier is a fisherman's paradise. Its cold, clear waters are stocked with trout, and many spots like Lake McDonald and St. Mary Lake are accessible for shore fishing. Just remember to acquire a permit and be aware of seasonal restrictions. Cyclists can also ride through parts of the park on Going to the Sun Road before it's open to vehicles in spring and fall. Bike rentals are available in the gateway town of Whitefish. No matter how you choose to recreate, be sure to practice safety and stewardship principles, like packing out all trash, properly storing food from bears, and respecting trail etiquette and closures. Put nature first by following leave no trace principles when exploring Glacier's wild spaces. Observe wildlife from a distance, stay on designated trails, and avoid removing natural items like flowers or antlers. With some preparation and common sense, Glacier promises endless opportunities for safe, sustainable adventure. From relaxing scenic drives to heart-pumping hikes to tranquil paddle tours, the diversity of recreation in Glacier National Park lets you craft the Montana adventure of a lifetime. With so many stunning trails, lakes, and mountaintop vistas to discover, you'll want to come back year after year to check even more exhilarating activities off your Glacier bucket list. Conservation efforts and climate impact. As a cherished natural wonder and wildlife haven, preserving Glacier National Park for future generations is of the utmost importance. However, the effects of climate change pose one of the biggest threats to the long-term health of the park. Rising temperatures have visibly impacted Glacier's sensitive alpine environment, and efforts are underway to protect the park moving forward. The receding glaciers are the most visual evidence of climate change in Glacier. As mentioned earlier, the park has already lost over 40 of its original 150 glaciers since 1966 due to warming trends. Scientists estimate that at current melting rates, the remaining glaciers could disappear completely by 2030. This rapid glacial retreat affects the park's hydrology, landscapes, and ecosystems. In addition, climate change has caused other observable impacts, like loss of cold-adapted plant and animal species as alpine habitats decline, increased wildfire risk and more frequent, severe fires that burn vegetation, spread of invasive insects like mountain pine beetles that damage forests, shifting wildlife migration patterns and loss of food sources. Realizing the urgent need to curb climate impacts and preserve glaciers' environments, the National Park Service has launched targeted conservation efforts. Some current initiatives include working with partners on ecological restoration projects to improve ecosystem resiliency, monitoring climate change effects on vegetation, hydrology, wildlife and more, implementing fire management strategies to balance ecological benefits of natural burns, upgrading park facilities and transportation systems to be carbon neutral and sustainable, educating visitors on how to recreate sustainably and minimize their footprint. We can all assist in protecting Glacier's future by practicing low-impact activities when visiting this special place. Simple things like staying on marked trails, properly disposing of waste, choosing public transportation instead of driving, and avoiding plastics make a meaningful difference. By appreciating Glacier's fragile environments firsthand, we're inspired to live more sustainably even after returning home. While the impacts of a warming climate present very real concerns, there is still time to chart a better course for Glacier that preserves its magic for generations to come. Both the National Park Service and conscientious visitors are essential partners in conserving this natural wonder through uncertain environmental times ahead. With a shared commitment to stewardship, this park's otherworldly beauty and ecology will persist as a cherished wilderness worthy of protection. Visitor experience and amenities. Glacier National Park is not just a feast for the eyes, it's an adventure for the soul. Here's your guide to making the most of this natural wonder. Best times to visit. Timing is everything in Glacier. The park is open year-round, but the full Going to the Sun Road, the park's main artery, typically only opens from late June to mid-October, weather permitting. Summer brings out the park's lush beauty but also the crowds. For a quieter experience, consider late spring or early fall, when the flora and fauna are still active, but the throngs of tourists have thinned. Accommodation and facilities. Inside the park, you have a range of options from historic hotels like the Many Glacier Hotel to cozy cabins and lodges. For the full wilderness experience, there are 13 campgrounds with over 1,000 sites to choose from. Booking in advance is essential, especially for the busy summer months. If you prefer a solid roof over your head, nearby towns like Whitefish and Columbia Falls offer hotels and vacation rentals. Planning your visit. Preparation is key. Check the park's website for real-time updates on trail and road closures. If you're eager to escape the beaten path, consider the North Fork area, accessible from the west. It's more remote and less frequented, offering a serene connection with nature. Or, traverse the Highline Trail for dramatic vistas, away from the hustle of more accessible points. Timing your day. Arrive early or stay late to enjoy the serenity of dawn or the alpenglow at dusk. Wildlife is most active during these times, offering the best chances for sightings. Leave no trace, pack out everything you pack in. Keeping the park pristine not only preserves it for future visitors, but also protects the wildlife that calls it home. Lesser-known spots. Glacier's lesser-known spots can be the highlight of your visit. Bowman Lake, a tranquil, off-the-beaten-path gem, offers stunning views with fewer crowds. Two Medicine on the east side of the park is another quiet spot where you can soak in the park's beauty in relative solitude. For those willing to hike, Ptarmigan Tunnel and Grinnell Glacier offer rewarding treks with breathtaking scenery along the way. Educational programs. Glacier National Park is not only a place of recreation but also of education. The park offers a range of programs designed to deepen your understanding of this unique environment. Ranger-led programs. Check the visitor centers for schedules of ranger-led hikes, talks, and evening programs. These can range from informative walks that focus on the park's ecology to star-gazing events that showcase the park's dark skies. Junior Ranger Program. A hit with families, the Junior Ranger Program offers children the chance to learn about the park through activities and earn their Junior Ranger badge. Citizen Science. Engage even deeper by participating in citizen science programs. These programs may involve tracking animal movements, observing plant life, or contributing to climate research. In today's journey through Glacier National Park, we've explored its breathtaking glaciers, diverse wildlife, rich cultural history, and abundant recreational opportunities. We've uncovered the importance of conservation efforts and how each visit shapes the park's future. Whether you're seeking adventure or solace in nature's embrace, Glacier offers an experience unlike any other. Remember to tread lightly, cherish the views, and immerse yourself in the educational opportunities the park provides. If you've enjoyed this guide and want to join us on more voyages to the world's most incredible destinations, hit that subscribe button. Until next time, keep exploring with VoyageVault.